Hello, my name is Chrissy from Amorevolezza, and I have a great privilege today to have with me the most beautiful woman, Lizette Bodenstein. Lizette is also known as the Life Alchemist. So she's a woman who helps others transform their lives and rewrite their story after 40. Hello, Lizette. Uh, thank you so much for joining. It's such a brunch. I was invited by Professor Rita to go to a Women's Day, and that is where I met Lizette, and I bought a book immediately. I just needed to um read a book, so we'll talk about the book later. And yeah, let's start. Yes. Lizette, why do they call you the life alchemist?
Yes, I don't think that I am the life alchemist, but it was inspired by the book that I read, I want to say more than 2 decades ago, of Paulo Kilo and The Alchemist. And what it is about this shepherd boy going on a journey. His name is Santiago, and Santiago was looking for a treasure. But on his journey going towards the treasure, he realized that it's not about the end destination, but the journey going there, becoming better every day, every journey. And the last but not least, to trust yourself, your inner being. I want to say your inner guidance, because we all do have that. And yeah, that's why I have decided to say life alchemist, because at the end of the day, I just want to guide people to go back and realize that you are on a journey, and to know that it's not the end. It's not your funeral's
But
day,
the end after 40s.
but it's to literally become who you need to be while you're alive, and to enjoy life at all times. So that's what the life alchemist is all about.
Oh, and we all have a journey and we all have a story to tell. And sometimes I think sometimes somebody's book is going to be thicker than the other person's book, right? But take us back. What was your life like before your transformation?
For me personally, I don't have a before transformation, because I do believe that if I say that there was a before transformation, that it sounds to me like I have arrived, which is not the truth at all. I am still in transformation. The truth is that for me, I do believe that I need to be better every day, and that I will be transforming every day. So but to just say where I were and mention some things, yes, I did have some goods and some less goods. So some of them, I would say, if I can say, that is really achievements and really highs, was the fact that I was living in 3 countries, different countries, working and living and getting the experience of other cultures and people, and at a very young age. And some of it that I would say was really rock bottom was 2 engagements that didn't turn out. But in hindsight, I can see that the messiness brought me to mastery, because I know now who I am and what I want. And then another one is unexpected deportation within 12 hours to go out of the country, and to then have learned so much about resilience. It's not about the fall, it's about getting back up. So, yeah, maybe that is some transformation, but as I say, always learning till the end of life.
I didn't I didn't know if I was going to ask this question, but you did study, or you are a pastor. You are like an ordained pastor. Well,
I won't say I'm not a practicing pastor, but I study, and I have completed my pastorship. Yes, that was many, many, many years ago. I do have rock solid foundation with regards to Christianity, and well, I also have then realized that for me, it is a journey as Santiago. It's a journey where I need to be with my creator. And it's not really limited to one kind of like, it's not just in a book between Genesis and Revelation. So it's much
Okay.
more.
There was a specific moment when you realized something has to change. When was that?
I would say that was when I kind of turned my back on my everything, my life. I turned my back on I gave up my job. I gave up my flat. I gave up everything, even my family's opinions, friends' opinions, to move away 1,200 kilometers to a place that I knew nobody, because I'm going to now get married and be happy and live forever, just to get there and find that the story wasn't the way that I thought it will turn out.
Like everybody has the Cinderella syndrome, happily ever after.
And it led to me to a point where I was homeless, so I was staying in my car. And when I reached that experience, I said, okay, I've got nothing, which is a good place to start, but it's got to change.
Well done. I love it. So, what did rewriting your life actually look like for you personally?
I would say rewriting is not a overnight thing, but it starts with definitely coming back to connecting to God and your creator, and say that it's time to refocus, because there is a purpose on your calling on your life. So that will be the very first thing I would say in rewriting, is to connect back to your source and your creator. And the second thing is small little choices daily. And I mean, that
Was his previous
day,
dessert? How do you eat an elephant? Just party.
Barbie. So, yeah.
Okay, so now this is Lizette's book. Can you believe it? It is beautiful. This is how I met her. And Lizette, what inspired you to write this book, Midlife Rewritten?
So I'm a trauma therapist and a life coach. And more, I found people sitting in front of me, especially women, saying, "Ah, it's menopause, it's midlife." And for me, that was like, oh my goodness, I was literally feeling I could not serve my people in a good way, because I have not had the experience, and I felt I didn't have enough knowledge and research. So I dived into researching everything I can. I turned around every rock and every page just to get sufficient evidence and knowledge to help and serve my clients better. But what I found, and this is why it's inspired, is that women that does not know normally makes menopause the villain. Right. Everything is menopause.
Fault. It's like I say, what is your problem? It is actually the men. Okay.
So, yeah, and what I have discovered in my journey is that there is much more to it. It's not just menopause. And then what I realized is to just bring it over to my one client, and my next client is just too little. So I decided to write the book, because I believe I can reach more people.
I've been in sessions with you, and I must say, I wish I met you in my 20s because in my life, I would have made much better choices in my life. The stuff that I already learned from one session from you, if I just knew that little bit, I would have already. made a different choice when I would have asked yes or no. So, who is this book really for?
I would say this book is for, well, I want to say a few of them. The first one is obviously women that is 40 plus. And recently, the gynecologist is actually educating me that menopause starts striking at 38 and 37. And that is all because of dietary and lifestyle adjustments from a decade and 3 decades ago. But I would say women that is now entering menopause, because I'm not saying that menopause doesn't contribute to your dis-ease and discomfort in this midlife. However, it is not the only thing. But so women that is entering the midlife stage, yes. Women that is open-minded. The things that a lot of women is maybe not open and they have made up their mind, they will not find benefit from this book. You need to be open minded to see that it's a holistic approach, body, mind, and spirit, right? So, and then I would say the woman that is hungry for a solution, because there's people that literally says, just give it to me. I don't care if it's outside of what I was used to. I just need the solution. So, and to be able to see this as an opportunity time and not an end in your life, because it's actually a new season and a new stage in your life.
Um, I saw that that my life changed every 7 years. Like there comes like a time every 7 years in my life that now my hair is changing, my skin is changing. I want to wear something different. Every 7 years, I'm going through the cycles. But what is the biggest struggle that women after 40 face?
I would say that, well, what I have found in my experience is that women, at perhaps some of the cases, is the fact they had childhood issues and wounds and traumas. But as they become adults, they can address it because there is a lot of life happening. There's no time to address it. You need to just go and you suppress those traumas, which is okay because for that time that works. However, when now the menopause is coming in and the hormonal imbalances starts to surface, trauma is normally your first thing that will appear and say, you have not dealt with me yet. So I would say a lot or a large part is traumas that was not resolved. Okay. And it's showing up after 40. And the other one is that people and women of the 40 and even 45 and 50 are now having family dynamics that is changing. This can be either children is leaving home, parents are passing away, or maybe a divorce or whatever it might be. Now, with that, the woman does not have a foundation because she lacks self love. When you lack self love, then you don't feel you have a meaning anymore because you lived for your children, you lived for your parents, you lived for your house, and perhaps he is leaving home because there is something else. However, that is the lack of self love, and that is a big challenge for women 40 and in their midlife stages.
So, Leon, if you had to share one powerful message out of the book, what would that be?
I think that throughout my book, as you read it, there will be a message that I keep on repeating to my readers, but I also usually my life is that life is never ever happily to me, but it's always for me. And to have a mindset that whatever is coming on my path right now, it's here to serve me, it's here to benefit me, it's here to polish me, to bring the best out of me. So that would be my message.
And you believe midlife is not an ending, it is actually a beginning.
Definitely. If we want to be honest, women to women, if there is some things like a 28-day cycle and embarrassment that you can say goodbye to. And also, midlife is more than that. You don't need to Uber the children to school and home anymore because they are out of the house. You don't need to try and understand your husband anymore because you've been together for years. And I would say by this stage, you also had sorted who is your best friends because that is also a very large part of life. It is your really sincere friends who will be there through everything. And if you sort that, you will let them drop and let them go, and you will have your best friend forever.
Um, I know when it's just like 3 years ago. My daughter was in America. My son, when I came back from America, my husband left me. Suddenly sold the house from underneath me. My son had to move out of the house. I got divorced. I had to move in a small room with a bathroom. The moving and everything. So my midlife was totally crushed. And then with all the stuff that went through in my life, I know that all our let's say trauma goes just in your cells. So, and we just get sicker and sicker. And that's why we sit with your knees don't want to work anymore. We need to pop a few more shoulders and all that kind of stuff. So why do so many women feel stuck and invisible after 40? Because you just feel like your whole life is falling apart.
Yeah. I might be repeating myself, but it does come back to that core. The core is that trauma is at the end of the day bringing more stress to your nervous system. Your nervous system is now like literally deteriorating because it's always in fight or flight or and I would say the sad part is literally because you have not addressed the traumas and you do not have self love. You do not believe in yourself. You do not believe that you are enough. You know, where I am, life is working for me, not against me, and not to me. It's happening for me.
Sure. Um, what is the biggest mindset to rewrite your life?
Hmm. The biggest mindset. Right. I would say the biggest mindset, uh,
It's a mindset. So,
it's saying, yeah, it's to always remember that universe, your creator, life is happening for you. That is secondly the biggest mindset you can ever have. And to know that and try if you do the shift to incorporate more love. If you just choose to love more. And it's a decision, it doesn't just come. Unfortunately, it's a decision.
where should somebody start if they feel totally lost right now?
Yeah, well, I know that a lot of us do say, and I see that in my consultations, is that they would say, oh, but I had dealt with my traumas. I do know this stuff. At the end of the day, if you do see cycles coming up and you see yourself repeating stuff, it means there is still a trauma on cellular level that has not been resolved. So I would I would really promote a trauma session and package mainly again. The thing is, one trauma session is many a times not enough. So we like to do four because your first session is not a trauma, it's only an analyzing.
You have to meet the person.
Yes, exactly. You need to see what is the current and where are we going. So yeah, that's why we always have a package of four. But I would say trauma and definitely some coaching on self love because that is something that every person, myself included, need on a day.
I must say that Also, I had lupus. So I was diagnosed with lupus 14 years ago. And that if you guys look at where does lupus come from, if you go look at cellular level, it is self-hatred. From all the bad that I think I made the wrong choices in life, I started hating myself for all the wrong choices that I made. I've been married 4 times. It's like, how can you be married 4 times? So it's like I really made wrong choices, and but I hated myself, and I had to start. And that's where I got Professor Rita as well. Um, that I had to start loving myself, but that was the hardest thing I could do. Is to, like I say, take off your clothes, stand in front of a mirror, and tell the mirror, I love you." And it's like I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do that. So yeah, how do you reconnect with yourself after years of giving to everyone else?
Yeah, so um, I think there can be an ABC. I've got this that I give to everybody, and I use it in my self love coaching, and I call it the ABC, and it's the very first six for loving yourself. And the first one is awareness, but this is awareness and acknowledging your achievements. So that is three A's already in a little cluster, but don't be aware of who you are, because at 40 and over there, you have achieved a lot. You have come through a lot. So have awareness for that. Not the awareness of I've got another wrinkle, I've got gray hair, I have a track record of a divorce or whatever. Don't go on that. Have awareness for the strength and the achievements, meaning your acknowledgements and your achievements. Have awareness for that. That's the A part. Have that very clear and be aware of that. Then the B is being still. I do believe that we are in such a rush daily that we don't get time just to be still and be with our higher self. So, just to be with your inner voice, your GPS that's inside of you, to hear what is she whispering to you. So, be still, and that is how you become. Because if you have the awareness and you are still, you can start becoming. You have the awareness that I was a cheerful woman around about 10 years ago before everything started going wrong. So if you have that awareness and you know you've achieved that joyful friend kind of award, then be still and become that thing and become that boldly. So it's be still, become, and be bold. You, not somebody else. Don't try and fit in anybody's boxes.
No, because last women's like, look at that person's like, I want to be like that. Yes. I want to be like that. I want to say that. I want to make up like that one. If I get like,
But I do believe that I don't want to speak for everybody, but I do believe by 40 you kind of get that what the heck kind of silly that it's just a innate and it's just happening like who's the people, I'm the people. I'm very grateful for everybody that is going into that transition. And then the C part would be start to create continuously cheerleader talk with yourself. Continuously create cheerleader talk. The self talk that you've got is normally part of, if you change that, your self love will grow. In so many times, you will stand and be busy with your hair and you say it's thinning out, or you will say busy with your makeup and you will say, well, it's a lot of wrinkles, or whatever the case might be. And all that is not cheerleader talk. You need to get the champion cheerleader talk. You need to say, oh my goodness, I'm so beautiful. For my age, man, this is amazing, and just celebrate that and do that. Create that continuously. From the morning that you get up, say, wow, I only have one ache. Wow, I know that there's other people that's got 10, or I've got one ache less than yesterday. It must be some supplementation that I took, or I don't feel dehydrated. So I must have taken more water. So create that moment to celebrate it and have a good cheerleader talk like, well done, you did on your water.
It's like when I do yoga in the morning, just say thank you for your body that I could have done it, and what your body thanks you for doing that for the day.
Yeah, that's the ABC.
I got my this time that I've been with you guys, trauma, you can't tell anybody. There's not a person in this world got more trauma than me. Just like that's why I decided to become a wellness coach. And sometimes I'm like also trying like I'm not good enough. How am I gonna teach people to do this if I can't even do this? And it's like that I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but you I couldn't wait to tell you about this thing that you showed me the other day. Um she gives you practices to learn more about your body. So can you give us one simple daily practice to start rewriting your life after 40?
Yeah. If I need to say that there's one, because you need to keep it doable and you need to really know that every lady needs to be able to do it and not say that they were in a rush. So I would say this is your before sleep. I call it the BS technique. And it's not the one that everybody's saying BS, it's before sleep. So I would say that if you are now literally winding down to go to sleep, it is time to just get into a space of being quiet. And when you are switching off all the lights, head on the pillow and lying down, just close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose, deep in, and exhale through the mouth. And then take both of your hands and just give yourself a hug, lying down in the dark now, and start scanning your day's activities and look and find that one act, thought, talk, whatever it might have been, behavior that was for you, it was benefiting. So if this was a cheerleader talk in your mind, then scan and find it. And if you can find it, and let's say for example, even if it's setting out a boundary, somebody is saying, but I need you to go to the shops for me right now. And you are lying now and you see how you are saying, but I can't do it because I have already been to the shops today. I will go tomorrow. I've got stuff to do. Replay that because you had set out a boundary and that is your first step towards self love, right? So, as you lie and you did inhale and exhale, just find it and lie there and replay it. And while you replay it, sincerely give yourself a smile. So, now give yourself a smile and replay it and feel good about it and give yourself a hug. And when you finish, you just whisper and you say, thank you, self. Let's do more of that tomorrow. And what that says, and then you release your hands and you go into your sleep. But what you are programming your brain is to be grateful for what you have done right, ignoring what you have slipped up. We all slip up, but also sleeping well and waking up looking for the next great thing that is going to happen because the body says, let's do more of that tomorrow. So,
Obviously, if you speak life, life's gonna happen. Okay, so what is one thing women should stop doing after 40?
I want to keep it as simple as this. And I know that you're going to say to me that there's no switch, but I'm saying this: stop stressing. And I want to say, stop stressing the small stuff. And remember, you are 40, everything is small stuff, right? So don't stress. Stress is absolutely a silent killer. And if you can get yourself together, love yourself enough, you will realize that if I love myself, I can set a boundary. If I can set a boundary, I don't need to stress. If I love myself enough, I can love you from a distance. So I don't need to stress. So everything, it's hand on hand. Don't stress, grow your self love. The more you grow your self love, the less you stress.
So on my first, it's saying for 2 years, but this year, definitely one of my first workshops that I'm going to do is on boundaries because I struggled with that. And I will share my life story about boundaries on my workshop. And hopefully soon with my new website, there will be the first bound workshop. And it's going to be so easy. What's one thing that we should start doing in our 40s?
As from today, so I don't know if you are familiar with the movie that Jim Carrey had, the Yes Say. So there was a movie, it was quite long ago. I don't know how long ago. I do believe that somebody said to me there's also now a Netflix movie similar. But what Jim Carrey said is that he only say yes that day. So I want to, on basis on that, I want to say that inspired by that, I want to say have a love day. Right. As from today, decide that everything is love. It's a now. This is now just to challenge you. But if we challenge you, you are going to make some shifts. So if the taxi driver does pull up in front of you or he races past you and then he stops, you now have to intentionally choose love. Now, how will you do it? So obviously the thoughts will be whatever, 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 honking and screaming and yelling. But now you are intentionally aware. So what you need to do is thank you, Mr. Taxi Driver, that today I have tested my brakes again and my responses is still very good. So just loving and go past and have a day where you get creative around why I choose deliberately to not have the vibrations, frequencies, and speaks and thoughts. Because at the end of the day, what you speak and what you see is only harming you.
Yeah.
So realize that if you can, from today, choose love days full of love.
It's like that thing that they say, you drink the poison and you hope the other person is gonna.
So love, love, love as from right now. Love, love, love.
At Amorevolezza, we always say healing starts within, and what Lizette is saying is like so aligning, and it speaks exactly to healing within. So if a woman is watching this today, feeling stuck and lost and not good enough, what would you say to her? Oh, we should.
Yeah, I would say that everything in life is frequency and it is, life is ebb and flow, right? So you are allowed to be on your down. You feel stuck, you feel a little bit lost, okay? What's very important is to know that a heartbeat needs to go down and come back up. So back up, we can now say it is taking back the pen and rewrite your story, because at the end of the day, the best chapter is still to come. The best chapter is still to come. And if you do not know how to lift the pen and get back up onto the line before it's just going on a deadline, book a trauma therapy session or get some self-love coaching.
Okay, guys, I'm busy with her and I can't tell you with the stuff that I'm learning with her. You definitely want to know this. But I want to say this. Where can people find this amazing book? It says Midlife Rewritten, a real world wellness guide for women in their boldest years yet. Where can people find this amazing book of yours to connect with you?
So in South Africa right now, it's obviously a physical book. I'm busy doing the digital on Amazon, but it's not done yet. But you can get it at www dot me after 40. So me after 40 is digits dot co.za. And yes, for those who are listening,
Put it at the end video.
you can also on that website, you can also book a session with me. There is the 15 minutes copy session that you can book a session with me where we can quickly talk and you can see whether,
Oh, Lizette coffee.
yeah, whether I will be the person that will be able to help you with your journey. I just help you. I won't fix you. You will do all the work or not. And that we will do in a short session that you can book on my website as well. So yeah, and I believe my cell number will be there as well. Or just send me an email. Okay.
All of it, you blessed us so much, and thank you for reminding us that it's never too late to rewrite your story of the 40.
Thank you very much, Chrissy, for this, and thank you everybody for watching this.
Thank you. With love and light, we love you.